Alrighty, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So, tonight, I have the last little bit. Rude. I have the last little bit of. Ah. Sorry, I'm having a lot of issues with allergies lately. Um, got the last little bit of my weekly campaigns to run. I have the Red Harvest as well as the newest one that I can drop into. Those are going to be on Neverwinter. And then I have officially started the next chapter in the main quest line of Where Winds Meet. It's opened up a brand new section of the map. I have tons of things going on that. I do admit I have been playing off live as well. I do apologize, but things have just been so hectic lately. I play for like 30 minutes, and then I put the game down and have to go do something. Then I come back and play another 30 minutes, and I'm not going to do that to y'all on a stream. So, I am, however, apparently going to have breakouts literally trying to explode on my arms during stream. That's crazy. I am not entirely sure how long I will be streaming tonight. I had my first energy drink in like almost a month tonight because when I got to work, I was dragging so fucking hard. Like today was just today was not a day to be going to work. It really wasn't. But I have tomorrow off, so even though I do have some stuff that I gotta get taken care of tomorrow, it's not a huge thing. So we are going to jump on in and get this thing kicked off with some Neverwinter. Orante! Alright. Let's go.
This mountain is cursed.
Your face is cursed. Alright, first things first, I need to go over here. Gotta go drop off these profession stuff. I'm still trying to get that workshop leveled up. Rude. No kill DoorDash. Damn. Still wasn't the right one. Alright. Lame. Discard those. All the way down here, I've got quite a few of these. So, let me put you up here. There we go. Okay. Do I still have that one running? I do not. Oh, she's officially level 14. Let's go. Alright, I'm trying to think. So, literally, that weekly haul is maxed out. I got this one and the soul collector. Let's go. I guess we're going to start off with the soul collector because that one is whoop. Quite literally right over here. Hi,
Nothing
Zuna.
left on my end. It's been a wild adventurer. You've been busy.
Hell yeah.
Let's cut to the chase. You got in contact with an old friend of mine, Tesser. I admit, I'm surprised it was you he asked for, and not me. I suppose he couldn't resist working a job with someone like you, considering your countless accomplishments.
Let's go.
Anyway, we need to extract him before Tam gets his
Okay,
hands
so
on
there's
him.
the bazaar.
Let's not waste any time.
The Tower District
If
is where I
Tam
need
wants
to
to
go
be a
right
god,
now. Alright, we need to go all the way over here. Oh, hold on. Hold that thou. You, sir.
Do not the enemy of my enemies may fail. An ally calls for me to uncover a plot most
People of the resistance has been occupied. Patrols have. I used to get high. The resistance is.
Here, kitty, kitty.
In a society where the city's just...
The
slaughterhouse called the
No,
slaughterhouse
no, no.
awaits your
That's the PvP. I want this one.
blood hunt.
Rise out of them.
I need to go this way. Screw it. We'll go this way. Because why the fuck not? We'll go do the weekly one first. Hey, B, what? Let's go. God, I love having a healer. Let's go. Ayo. All right. Let's help our boy out.
You scoundrels! This is what the fortune teller was talking about.
Are you sure about that?
If only I had my bow, I could help you. Take that, you filthy creatures! I should have seen this coming!
There we go. Alright, let's go around and collect all of our stuff.
Greetings and... it's you. Yes, I know. I was there at the Dread Ring. Valindra, forgetting to lock the door, made infiltrating a whole lot easier. While you
Taka!
fought her, the rest of us snuck in. That portal's gone now. You'll not find anything like it around here.
Alright.
Though I am forbidden now, do not stare too deeply into my eyes, for you will become lost in time. Do you wish to revisit a piece of your history?
Alright, so I need... That's that one, so I need these ones. Oh, right, I have the enemy of my enemy. I need that one. Rude. Bro, why am I consistently getting ads for freaking...
Sastam is not a god. He cannot see all.
I still love the fact that we did that. No. 15 plus recommended? No. No. Bro, y'all got me going everywhere. Holy shit. There you are.
Please, just leave me alone. Greetings, hidden pathways, my friend. We know the ins and outs. citizens use these to hasten travel across the city. We know that's common routes. There are also the catacombs and many necropoli with resources and space to turn into safe houses. Whee!
Hi, Tanny. Oh. Bruh. Teehee.
Can't even whistle while you work. Oh, you're the revolution. We're tired. We're pushed to work from dawn till dusk. We sleep in coffins. Our food is caked in dirt. We're treated as if we're dead ourselves. And if our undead miners fall and we lay them to rest, they get dug back up and reanimated until their bones erode. These are our family, our friends. It's too much. We've not got much to offer other than numbers and the picks in our hands. But we'll do our part.
Day in, day... Yes, we want a normal life. We want to see the sun, to smell something other than rot. I miss the smell.
Let's go.
Fresh wind. To be worked until our hands bleed, then brought back where they can bleed again. What kind of life is that? We want to truly live. Is that too much to ask for? There's a lot of us. We're beat and not broken. If we join you, we've got some resilient folks willing to stand up and fight back. Before you go, could you give the guards a good thrashing?
Get one shot wrecked. Bro, my skin hates me right now so much. Oh. Did you just say for Gromsh? You're not supposed to be for him. You're supposed to be for Saztam. Teehee. Let's go. Alright, now I gotta go speak to the contact. Yo, I completely forgot that I was into the next part of the story on this one. I honestly did. Okay, and we all actually happen to be in the same deal as well, so... Okay, with me being over here, I know exactly where to go. No, you don't see me. Yay! I didn't even think about it. Okay, good. We technically have a healer, but having a secondary healer would be awesome. Especially since mine does AoE heals. Mine does arena heals.
Try this challenge emphasized!
Let's go.
Entertainment!
Ain't no pain in this one except for your people. Your poor little thralls are feeling so much pain right now. Let's go. Let's go.
Or die trying! I saved the match for now!
Let's go.
To love this!
Jesus.
Bring forth the beast! Dance with death!
Let's go. Let's go. We are wrecking this shit.
Can you survive this one?
Rude. Fuck it. What do we got?
Feed her, for she hunger. Here comes your reckoning.
I was gonna say, I don't know how many times I've pushed the damn button. Rude.
Don't get comfortable. Death waits.
Nah. It only waits for your people. We coming for all of y'all.
What's fresh hell is next.
Blood Moon Claw. Bad part is this motherfucker moves too much. Let's go. Oh, that was a thing. That hurt. That hurt like a bitch.
The beast.
Alright, which one we grabbing this time? Incoming healing.
That all you got?
Oh, motherfucker. Hey, I got a Peridot. Perrito.
Wake up! Time to die!
Focused in, we're focusing in. I think this is the most rounds that I've ever had a group run with me. Usually everyone's like, oh, well, I just want my dailies and we done. Like, nah, where's the challenge? Nope. Yeah, I didn't get that. Let's go. 14 marks of the slaughterhouse. Let's go. Ooh. Ooh, that was close. That was too fucking close. Now it should be him. Yeah, there you are. Okay then. Damn.
Here's the entertainment.
Let's go. Bro, this is crazy. Oh, I got the wrong one. Damn. Let's go. Honestly, we are basically making this look easy. Like, this is... I think I'm the only one that's actually fallen. That I've seen, anyways. Let's go. I even got the weekly off of this. hey, you know what? Even if it's just purple gear, if it's improving your healing, that's what matters. Ooh. Now all of a sudden we have... Oh no. Oh no, no. That was almost bad. Focus the succubus! It's gonna be Baphomet. That's gonna be, or a pit lord. Oh no, it's an abyssal chicken. No, bad chicken. Wasn't a snake that round, it was the succubus. Oh! Yep. Lord of the Fire. Ow, you bitch. Woo! If I remember correctly, I get bonus damage for being further away, so... Ooh. No. Bad pit lord. Let's go. No. Bad corrupted shadow demon. Bad corrupted shadow demon. Go away. I'm gonna say we definitely we need our Oh, I was not counting on being in here for my entire stream. But this is too fucking great. Like, this is the first time I've ever had a team that was willing to go past 5. And here we are at round 14. About to mess this up, too. About to wreck this 14th boss right now. Okay. I'm feeding my dinosaur chicken. Oh no, Ozzy! Okay, there, got him. Not gonna waste it right now.
The fundraising begins anew!
Nope, no altar. Oh no.
I swear, you've grown to love this!
Apparently we're still going. I'm gonna say this is where we call it. Oh! Well. I'm gonna say that we done. We done.
slaughterhouse call. You've walked through the another heat.
Okay. That was crazy. Hold that thought. I'm at 25. Alright. Just had to make sure, cause like, that's wild. That's wild. Damn right. All right.
Deeply
Give me that.
unpleasant hero of Neverwinter. We've been watching you. Wrath Lodar sends his regards. Please, he was not contacted prior to your infiltration. Valora has been strong, but we understand that there has been heightened security as of late. Knowing you two are working together, we have some confidence that you will uncover what Tam's up to. And once you do, let us know post-haste. We've been generous. Do not squander that.
I don't like that. I don't like that we're trusting Rathmodar. Or that we're even working with even just one of his contacts, one of his underlings. I don't like this. I don't like that one bit. Oh no! Okay, well that was dealing with a lot more spiders than I had planned to be dealing with, but whatever. I still got them. It went back down! No, it was not supposed to do that! It was not supposed to go back down the mountain. Okay.
Shambling mounds, blighted stags, and other unnatural entities have
Bruh.
plagued these parts for years. Recently, their appearances have become more frequent and hostile, making our work all the more difficult. I no doubt the red wizards have something to do with this. We're doing our best to give your people a steady supply of food and herbs, but with these creatures on rampage.
I just decided, you know what sounds really good for my dinosaur right now? Venison. Blighted venison. What is up, Eliana? Welcome to the stream. Are you a Neverwinter player or a New World fan? Or not New World, sorry. Old habits die hard. Where Winds Meet? Are you familiar with Neverwinter and or Where Winds Meet? Politics tag. That's more just a disclaimer that politics may come up in my streams. I like to rant. But considering it's basically just beating a dead horse at this point, because as I've pointed out on a few other social posts and stuff, if you still support the Orange Buffoon at this late in the game, you can never use the excuse of I didn't know, because he has made it point blank and clear the kind of person he is and the type of things that he is doing. Oh, I still need more blighted stags. Oh wait, there's 3 of you here. I'm gonna get all 3 of y'all. Now see, my politics is basically all of the above, because without voting, we are basically telling them that we don't care about our voice. They give us the voting as a means to basically it's like a smokescreen, making us think that our voices matter. However, if we all just stop voting, then we are basically saying that our voices don't matter as well. But as far as the protests and strikes and everything else, I've been involved in protests for quite a while. See, I should say it's not so much about the choosing between those two. It's more like, okay, your local ones, local representatives, local elections especially. That's where the key differences can be made, because while your main government officials are going to be making I mean, yes, the bigwigs too, but it starts with the locals. You get your local elections, the way that, they're listening to the people, then that moves up the chain. Now your local officials are listening to their people in how to vote for the bills for the larger people. And I mean, even as far as the big wigs are concerned, we are about to see a major shift in dynamic. 100%. I'm actually very intrigued by this, especially with some of the dynamic changes that I have seen taking place all across the country right now. No worries at all. One thing that I will say right off the bat, age does not factor at all. And the reason I say that is one of the most shocking things that has come out of this year is, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but I believe it's the state of Vermont. They have their youngest ever in the history candidate for governor. And people didn't even think it was possible, but because they never even factored it being a possibility, they never wrote it into their laws. So there is a 14-year-old middle school student whose government teacher basically was like, hey, you know what? You're going places. When you go into politics, I want to run your campaign. And he's like, okay, bet. So he went and did research. Him and one of his fellow classmates, both of them in middle school. His classmate is his running mate. So we have a 14-year-old that officially got 500 signatures on a petition to get on the ballot. We have probably the biggest, middle ground 20, early 20s. He's running as a Democrat, but he is by far the most centrist person that has run in the state of Texas. And he is actually flipping red areas simply by going in and talking to them. And that's where the protests and strikes need to make their changes. It needs to be not just picket signs and screaming. It needs to be sitting down and having conversations with people. Now, granted, I realize that there's a catch-20 on that one, because you have to have people that are willing to have the conversation. So what ideas do you have on utilizing unions? Because I know unions have already been a huge part in political change in our country. In not in recent history. In recent history, they've tried to kind of demonize them again. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are falling for that.
There's a floating ball of lightning.
Give me just a second to wipe these guys out, and I will read that. Alright, this is a good spot. I plan on introducing myself to union members and representatives from multiple industries. I want to use the superficial charisma I've developed over the years to convince them all to sit down with me and have a conversation over food and tea. I want to open a discussion, and I want to encourage collaboration, syndicalism between the unions for one grand general strike. Asian Spring, some year, the Western Spring.
Think for yourself.
I think before you approach them to sit down and have these conversations, they're gonna want key things figured out. They're gonna want to know the direction you're wanting to go. So I would have, so you know how when political people, they run their campaigns and they run on, these are the key points that I'm running on. Like, okay, one of the big ones for us as Americans is healthcare, affordable housing, and just lower cost of living. Those are like three of the biggest points. And so when you go in to talk to them about wanting to have a conversation about, you know, coming together for a strike, they're going to want to know, okay, what are we striking against? What is the optimistic outcome? Like, what is the desired outcome? What are we trying to accomplish with this? What are going to be the key points of this? Because obviously there's different types of strikes. There's, okay, one of the biggest ones with us is we are finding out anyone and everyone that has put money towards these movements that we don't agree with, any of these corporations that have helped cover these things up, we're boycotting them. So you can boycott them. Someone just recently brought up, don't boycott them financially. Don't just say, oh, well, I'm not going to shop there. Instead, waste their time. Get, like, just a whole bunch of people gathered up and just sit there and call their customer service lines, call their stores, just nonstop. Just keep wasting their time. Just keep them on the phone so that they cannot be able to help the customers that are actually still spending their money there. Naturally, there's also the there's also naturally the picket, picket strikes, marching on the town. At one point, I was part of one where we found out our local legislation was going to be voting on LGBT rights. So we all got together. We had lunch at an LGBT allied location because we want to support our allies, especially while striking. And then we all marched down to the Capitol building, tied rainbow ribbons around the door handles, not so that they couldn't, untie them or cut them or whatever to get inside, because we didn't want to, like, that's borderline, that's crossing a few lines. But it just to make a statement. And then we put notices on the doors, petitions that have been signed from, bare minimum 300 people. Bare minimum 300 people. Respectively, you want around 500 people if you're doing a petition for anything. Also depends on the size of the demographic that you're going for. But we put that petition with a list of our requests. Absolutely. But we pinned that to the door so that when they showed up to work Monday morning, that was the first thing that they saw was we as the LGBT people, these are our demands. My skin is absolutely hating me right now. Did I, wait, did I close what account? Yeah, that one's closed. I'm happy that one's closed. I paid it off. So what was your first experience with organizing? Bro, that upsets me so fucking much. Ever since the new principal was there were power outages daily, leaving teachers unable to teach classes. Oh yeah, no, that's, okay, so what did you do to organize against that? Because I would have done either a sit-in or a walkout. A sit-in would have been probably equally as effective. A walkout probably would have gotten more attention outside of the school, which in hindsight is probably the better way to go about that one. But what did you do? That's such bullshit. Sign a petition on their behalf, demanding to know why it was happening, get them to stop and give contingency plans for what would have happened. We threatened a students' union and a walkout specifically before they took attendance, because they got paid for us being there only after attendance is taken, thus threatening economic damage. Yeah, that definitely got the it got the result that you were wanting, and that's the important part. Had it continued to happen and you did the walkout, in the planning phases of that, I would have gotten like a local news station or even just like a newspaper or something to be at the school interviewing some of the students and teachers, you know, taking photos and everything else, asking questions so that they can get a report. Because there is absolutely nothing that will push change faster than media coverage. Bad publicity will, I mean, hell, just look at some of the things that have happened in my country, in America, or in the United States. Sorry, I try not to be one of those people because America is literally this entire hemisphere. It's just old habits die hard. But over here in the United States, even some of the ones that I don't agree with, when Target put up a display for Pride Month. Okay, immediately they had people calling them nonstop, giving them bad publicity, bad reviews, the whole 9 yards. Even went as far as having some, and this is basically what caused the change, and this is what I do not agree with, is they had people going in and threatening the employees. Don't ever go that far. That is absolutely crossing a line. But as far as, you know, they called the news stations and said, you know, this is ridiculous, we don't agree with this. While I don't agree with their verbiage, they were saying, you know, this is woke nonsense. We don't need this around our children. Like, the second they mentioned the children, that's where the publicity kicked in. And immediately Target kind of had second thoughts about a few things. Now, again, I don't agree with that. I think that, first of all, it's not like they actually support the LGBT community. They did it entirely because that is the trend during that month. Is, you know, it's Pride Month. We can make so much money off of this, and that's literally the only reason they do it. But that publicity literally got millions of companies to change their aspects, even around Pride Month. Like, yeah, they were making a shit ton of money off of that merch, but at what cost? They had people that were threatening to just completely stop purchasing their stuff, like, altogether. And then you have the other side of things, where you have to be careful about the type of publicity you're giving, not to the company, but about yourself. Because when you go on record talking about your beliefs and things like that, you have to present it in a way that makes it seem relatable and makes it seem like you are, I don't know how to say it better than to say mature in what you're talking about. Like, you don't want to go in sounding like a little kid screaming because, you know, mom said no. Instead, you want to go in having solid arguments as to why this needs to change. And it's really funny because, like, I'm not a politician, like, in the slightest, but I could go into politics. I really could. I refuse to, just because the amount of corruption that's involved in it is way, way too profound. And unfortunately, the ones who try to go in and are not corrupt, they're winding up on the other side of
I've nothing for you at the moment.
the ground.
And our merry band grow. People at bay are suffering. There's been an attack, hero.
Ooh. you definitely have to have a heart for it. And you have to be able to still your heart. You 100% have to be like, you have to have your heart just completely set in your beliefs and be unwavering in those, because people will fight you on it, and you have to be able to push back. Perfect example of that. Again, I didn't agree with a lot of things that this man said or did, but Charlie Kirk. When you hear about Charlie Kirk, and you hear about some of the things that he was saying in his debates and everything else, at first glance, he was a horrible human being. However, digging a little bit deeper, at no point did he ever like fully get. It was more like he was trying to get people to talk about it. Like, he was trying to pull those arguments out and make you actually think about what you were saying. Again, when I said about, when you go to speak on what your beliefs are and why you think things need to change, you have to be mature in that conversation. He was trying to test that maturity in the people that were debating him. And there was literally only one that ever... Well, no, two. There was only two that ever just completely demolished him in that. And I think part of the reason he refused to debate them again is because they were solid, they were set, they were profound in what they were debating him on. And so they weren't his target audience. He was trying to get other people to actually open their brains and think. But again, he stepped on the wrong side of the line and was taken out for it. So it's a very tricky thing. Like, you want to be... It's one thing to be ready to be martyred for your cause. But you have to instill the change in people's hearts and minds before you can actually be a martyr. Otherwise, you were just another pointless loss. Just another, oh man, what is it called? Collateral damage. That's basically what they would call it, is collateral damage. You step too close to the war zone and you were collateral damage. Which, with the way the world is going right now, that is highly likely to start happening to a lot of people. So I will stay. Economy of force user resources, including your own life, economically, as in don't die pointlessly. Yes, 100%. And I'm kind of in that same situation because of the simple fact, okay, I'm an advocate for LGBT rights, and right now those are heavily under attack in my country. However, in my current situation, I have to be very cautious about how I go about advocating for that and protesting that and everything else, because I am currently living in a very small, very, very red area. I mean, this area is so red that there's a few people that I'm pretty sure are LGBT, but they are so deep in denial that they will hurt you for even suggesting that they could be. I mean, this is a very dangerous area for me to be in. but I 100% am still that person, and I 100% still am very openly and very proudly an advocate for my people. And I've had full-blown arguments with people at work, with people in passing. But I always make sure that as soon as it starts getting heated, and I realize that there is even a possibility of a chance that it could turn violent or physical in any way, I cut the conversation. If it's not a place where I can escape, like I'm at work or something like that, I flat out tell them that, you know what, we need to end the conversation here. If you feel like you just absolutely have to continue this, I will get the authorities involved.
Grandmother was an orc. They burned the place down along
Absolutely.
with my books. Any chance of us picking through the cinders for clues
I am
is
always
gone.
open to new
But I do
perspectives.
have this. It's a piece of his cloak. I tore it off. I think you have a diviner who can use this.
Perfect. The wanted posters are away. Whee! Okay. I'm so happy that I got my sled.
It won't be long. These streets are...
You, madam.
I heard about it.
Oh. Ooh, this should get interesting. But that's... See, here's the problem with that is that's exactly what they want you to do. Because then they can spin that as... See, look, they can only solve their point with violence. Why should you listen to them? And I mean, you could say the same thing about them, but at the same... Like, either way, they've still won. Because they weren't trying to change people's minds. The only way that you can do it is if you do it the right way. You have to maintain the non-violence. If it gets to the point where you do have to defend yourself, the first thing that I would say is always be recording. You know, the second the argument starts getting even remotely heated, have a bystander, have a friend, have like security cameras, like something, have some way to be recording, and that is true even in all of your strikes, all of your protests, any kind of boycotts, sit-ins, whatever you're doing, have evidence that you were not violent. because that is one of the main things that will change the entire perspective. And especially we've seen it. You've seen it in like all of the protests all across my country, where there's instigators. They will have instigators that will go in, and say the police are there to basically just keep the peace and stuff like that. They'll go in, and they'll have undercovers. They go in posing as protesters, and then start acting violent towards the police. Well, then the police have everything that they need to go in and arrest all of the protesters, because now the protest has turned violent. And they're not going to discriminate between, which ones were throwing things or which ones were throwing punches or, anything else like that. They're just going, because they're not going to take any chances. In their eyes, there is an immediate threat, and they don't know which of you is part of the problem at that point. So they're just going to arrest everybody. So if you have video evidence, somebody recording something saying my part in it, my group, we were completely non-violent, we were peaceful protests, as soon as we... This guy's over here trying to steal my stuff. Rude. You absolutely can be. I think I have an assassin coming after me soon.
Got everything I needed?
I hate groups of... Mm-hmm.
I see Zulkir performing ritual magic. The celestial bound. Zastan watching.
Honestly, that is literally one of the
A mythalar. And
that is one of the biggest things, accomplishments that you can ever admit to having,
contaminated.
is breaking that indoctrination. And yes, it's so funny that when people hear the word anarchist, they immediately think that you are blowing up buildings, that you are spray painting things, that, everything else. But it's literally, you're just, fuck the government. The system in general that we have is flawed, and we need to just tear it down and start over. And especially with the way things are right now, I applaud you for being able to break that indoctrination. Because having... Exactly. Honestly, I think it's just a simple fact. One, again, media representation. Look at how anarchists are represented in literally every form of media. The biggest one, V for Vendetta. Was he completely right? Absolutely. Did he go a little too far extreme on a lot of things? Also absolutely. But the point still stands. Initially, the only reason why he became violent was because he was imprisoned and tortured and experimented on. They created a monster by that. And there are certain groups that 100% have the capabilities to become that. And everyone on every side of the aisle should be thankful that we haven't hit that point yet. Now, as far as Angry Mustache Man's known organization, the simple fact that we have people actively bringing that back while at the same time being sponsored by and fully supporting Israel is just absolutely wild to me. Yep. Now, on the note of, it's an auto mod thing because of the verbiage that you use towards it, and it's essentially seen as like racist and hate speech. So I had to allow it. But man, let me just say, this has been like the wildest string of events like ever. Especially finding out, so I just recently found out the big organization that Charlie Kirk started, he didn't really start it, but he was like the face of it, was Turning Point USA. They've basically been run by Israelites the whole time. So we literally have our biggest like right-wing platformers being run by Israel. We are being run by outside forces.
I've nothing for you at the moment. By Califor. They're insane. They're actually insane. I don't know what to make of this. I'm sorry. I need to let everyone know. A Celestial and a Mythalar within the city? There's enough power.
Yep.
I think we've done everything I never thought of. There are plenty of people who could do with a helping hand. I may have some ideas.
It honestly has been just absolutely insane, and it's one of the things that has broken my heart so much for this country, because like we literally have music about how much of a melting pot basically the whole world has become. There are certain areas, such as Israel, where it's still very singular race, singular religion, singular like everything. In a lot of the Arab countries, it's the same way. But, like, the whole experiment of the Western continent was we were all becoming melting pots. We all have so many mixed cultures, mixed races, mixed backgrounds, the whole nine yards. And that's always been kind of the beauty of it. And other countries all over the world started learning from that. But now, all of a sudden, we have people that are... And this is by far the one that blows my mind the most, is... Okay, with where I'm at, I'm down in the southwestern part of the country. I've literally seen people tell Native Americans, indigenous people, to go back to where they came from. Like, Like, how is that even a thing? And these aren't, like, some of these are, you know, your everyday people. But then some of them are literally our officials. Like, you say that, but then you're literally just so dumbfounded by the fact that you actually heard that. Like, you're confused because you're not sure if they were joking or not at first. But luckily, most of the time, you don't have to worry about doing anything because the indigenous person that they were talking to, you never want to get on that side. That's all I have to say to that. And on the subject of on the subject of, like, the protests and you know, the racism and everything else, the biggest thing I can tell you to do, and it's becoming harder and harder and harder, even though we have all of this information at our fingertips, try your best to stay informed. Not even just about, like, current events and things like that, but maintain your knowledge of actual historical events, because history is being rewritten over and over and over. We literally have people in this country right now, in my country right now, that are trying to say that what happened with Germany and the Jewish community, you know, back in the 1930s, they're trying to say that never happened. Like, a historical world event. And they are trying to say that it is liberal lies. Keep that in mind, and keep in mind that they are banning books that talk about any of the things that could even remotely relate to what is going on. In our country, they banned the Diary of Anne Frank. They banned the Diary of Anne Frank. They banned The Outsiders. I mean, you know, at first, it was laughable. At first, it was funny because, you know, you had, like, these one or two people, and you're just like, you really can't be serious. But now there's literally entire demographics that honestly believe that now. And it's because you can't, there are areas where you cannot find it anymore. Like, if you know where to look, and if you know how to use the internet correctly, you 100% can. But there are literally news stations who are reporting that it never happened. And that's essentially how so many countries are getting away with the messed up things that they're doing, is because they're basically saying, oh, well, you know, there's no proof that this has ever happened. That would basically the equivalent, like, luckily it hasn't happened yet. I'm going to try my best not to jinx you on this, but it would be like if suddenly you had an entire demographic up there in Canada that was saying, Geneva Convention, what even is that? That sounds like liberal propaganda. Like, there's no such thing as the Geneva Convention. What are war crimes? We've never committed war crimes. And yet, your actual history will tell you that that list was made because of Canada. Even Russia has said that they're scared of the maple syrup people. So, it's one thing about it, like, people don't realize that there are certain areas that you really just do not want to mess with. Y'all literally are in a climate up there that, like, you have to survive things that, like, okay, basically, you're like the polar opposite of Australia. Like, Australia has things in the sand that just constantly want to kill you, and they're raining spiders. Y'all literally have these things called moose that are the size of a fucking truck, and will straight up just like, oh, hey, you were in my way. I think I'm going to move you now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Whereas the only reason why I'm scared of my country is because we literally, I'm thoroughly convinced we have people in Hollywood that are trying to warn us about certain things. People, for whatever reason, don't believe that our government would ever test their specific types of weaponry and stuff like that on their own soil. They 100% would, and not bat an eye over it. And one of the biggest ones that I'm terrified of is biological warfare. Because I 100% believe that they already have been testing biowarfare on us in several ways. So yeah. And I can fully I can fully see that has happened. I can fully believe that it is going to happen again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's a matter of how heavy of a toll are we talking? That's the big thing, is how heavy of a toll are certain demographics going to take. I mean, hell, you could even take it as far as I'm pretty sure this has probably been played in other countries as well. But are you familiar with this movie series, The Purge? Okay. When they talk about I don't remember which one it's called. I don't remember if it's called First Year. But it's literally the first ever time that they decide to experiment with this whole, you know, one day of killing, or, you know, one day of lawlessness, one night of lawlessness. And it's funny because at first people's lawlessness was stealing booze and having a party in the street. You know, there was no violence until the government stepped in. And the reason the government wanted to start the violence is they wanted to clear the herd. They wanted an ethnic cleansing. And when they realized that we the people, if given the freedom, would not inherently be violent, they said, we need to push the violence. And all of a sudden, everyone was like, oh, I can do that too? Cool. And then all of a sudden, you have people just venting their anger. But if you remember correctly, in every single one of these movies, there was one primary demographic that was responsible for all of the deaths. And there was one demographic that was targeted more so than others. And we are seeing that yet again already. We're seeing lynchings again. We're seeing very heavy racial bias. People would like to try and deny it, but there is no denying it. I don't know what that one's for. I need to come over here because I need... Oh, someone's already in here slaying all my mains. How dare. Rude. I could agree with that. How rude. Alrighty, have a good night. Thank you so much for dropping in and visiting with me. It was definitely a pleasure. If I don't see you again soon, good luck on all of your endeavors. And I do hope to see you the next time I am on. Yay. I need one more wanted poster. I don't know how many mains I still need. Teehee. There's those guys. There's those guys. I still need a way to fight him. No!
That ham is not a god. He cannot be all.
Damn you.
Think for yourself. That ham is not
How dare you.
a god. He cannot be all.
God damn it.
That ham is not a god. He cannot be all.
There we go. Okay, I need skellies.
Break your chains and seize control.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Zombie chicken. Let's go. Give me all the stuffs. Woohoo! Get out of here before they spawn. Alright. No!
I hate to advocate alcohol, violence, those rewards in a society where death is not the end. It makes you think about a peaceful afterlife.
I've some talents. With fewer undead, I used to get hired to do weather forecasts for nobles. Nowadays,
I've nothing for you at the half the reason people at Bay are suffering. We've got to help them however we can.
On 60. Wild. And literally nobody wants to fight assassins. Okay. Well, I think this is where I'm going to call this one. Honestly, guys, I think this is probably where I'm just going to call it a night. I really want to play some more Where Winds Meet with you guys, but I may save that one for this next stream. I will try to be back on tonight for more. But until then, guys, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy your weekend if I don't see you soon. But until then, have a good one.